Hello again, 4Runner fans. This is part 2 of a series of videos that I will be doing about my frame rust problem on the 99 4Runner. In part 1, we saw that the outside of the frame is in reasonable shape, and by reasonable I mean that I don't think that there's a need for a welder quite yet. We used a bore sight camera to take a look at the inside of the frame, and it is clear that something needs to be done. Rust is piled up inside the frame, and all that debris needs to be cleaned out before anything else can be done. The problem is to figure out how to do that. There are a number of access holes along the side of the frame, but they're pretty small. The first step is to create an adapter for my shop vac so that I can attach a plastic hose to it that is small enough to get inside the frame. I used my grinding wheel to construct an adapter out of wood and then drilled a hole in it that will fit the plastic tube. The next step is to buy a magnet on a telescoping stick that you can use to grab onto the rust flakes and pull them out through the hole. The magnet needs to be strong enough to hold the rust, but not so strong that it keeps sticking to the frame. This one seems to be just about right for the job. As you pull larger pieces of rust up to the hole, they may not fit, so I used the needle nose pliers to grab a hold of them and try to break them up so the pieces would come out. As you can see, some of the pieces are pretty big, and that's pretty typical for what we see inside the frame. The next tool to have on hand is an air compressor with a blower nozzle. I was able to purchase a special blower nozzle that is flexible, and this allowed me to get inside the frame a little further and to blow air back towards the hole. This one worked pretty well. Finally, I made use of the shop vac with the hose adapter to work inside the frame. Use the hose to knock rust loose, bringing larger pieces back to the hole for removal. And as you go, it also collects the smaller pieces of rust. If a piece of rust gets stuck in a tube, simply press the tube till that piece of rust breaks up into smaller pieces, and then they'll continue on to the shop vac. So during the short time I was filming, here's the collection of rust that we got out of there. As you can see, the particles are generally comprised of flakes, and they can be broken up pretty easy. There's going to be a lot more rust than this when you do the entire frame, and depending on your situation, it may be enough to actually fill up a good part of your shop vac.